Imagine waking up tomorrow, you grab your phone, and every news channel is saying the same thing.
We are not alone.
Unknown spacecraft have entered Earth's orbit. Not one, not two, but dozens. They're not attacking, they're not leaving, they're just waiting. For the first time in history, humanity realizes one terrifying truth. We're not alone. Would aliens destroy us or completely change life on Earth forever? Let's find out. Let's say it happens today. A massive object enters our atmosphere. Militaries detect it in seconds. Every major country tracks orbital debris and unidentified objects constantly. Within minutes, fighter jets are scrambled. Spy satellites reposition. The Pentagon, Russia's aerospace forces, and China's strategic support force are all watching the same feed. Here's the twist. The first people to know wouldn't be presidents. They'd be radar technicians and satellite operators, 22-year-olds in windowless rooms who suddenly realize they're watching the biggest event in human history unfold on a monitor. Within the hour, world leaders get the call. But here's the problem. There's no established global protocol for first contact. NASA and SETI have informal guidelines, but nothing legally binding. No country is required to tell the others what it knows. So the very first instinct of most governments? Secrecy. Not because of some grand conspiracy, just basic self-preservation. Nobody wants to be the country that panicked the world over bad information. Now imagine you're a regular person. Within hours, phones buzz. Someone filmed it. A grainy video hits social media before any government even issues a statement. This is where things get chaotic. Because in today's world, the aliens wouldn't just be landing on Earth. They'd be landing into an algorithm. Within the first day, you'd have three competing realities happening at once. Official channels urging calm, independent researchers and amateur astronomers releasing raw data faster than any agency can verify it, and a flood of AI-generated fakes muddying everything in between. Trust wouldn't collapse because of the aliens. It would collapse because nobody would know which video, which statement, which leaked government memo to believe. Historically, we've seen a preview of this. In 1938, Orson Welles' radio broadcast of War of the Worlds caused real panic because people couldn't verify what they were hearing in real time. Now imagine that same uncertainty, but supercharged by a world where anyone can fake anything. Contrary to the movies, there wouldn't be one unified Earth response. There would be dozens of separate competing responses because humanity isn't one team. It's about 195 of them. The US would likely activate protocols under agencies like NORAD in Space Command, treating it initially as a national security event, not a diplomatic one. Meaning military first, scientists second. Other countries with their own space and defense programs would do the same, largely independently, without full transparency to each other. Meanwhile, the United Nations has actually designated a country's UN representative, Austria, specifically the Office for Outer Space Affairs, as the informal point of contact for any extraterrestrial communication, based on a decades-old, non-binding suggestion. In reality, though, if beings capable of interstellar travel land in, say, Nevada, it's a safe bet the US government isn't waiting on UN paperwork before making a move. The uncomfortable truth is, first contact wouldn't unify humanity. It would probably fracture our usual power structures even further, at least at first. The scientific response would be the most fascinating and the most different from anything in fiction. Linguists would face an entirely new kind of problem. How do you even begin translating a language from a species that may not have words at all, that might communicate through light patterns, chemical signals, or something we don't have a name for yet? And physicists? They'd be far less interested in the aliens themselves and far more interested in how they got here. Faster than light travel, if it exists, would rewrite our understanding of physics overnight. Just observing their ship, its propulsion, its materials, could advance human science by centuries, assuming we were even allowed close enough to study it. Many scientists believe any civilization advanced enough to reach Earth might also be advanced enough to avoid unnecessary violence. Stock markets would likely see chaos in the short term, not because of any actual economic damage, but pure uncertainty. Markets hate not knowing what happens next more than they hate bad news itself. So, what would really happen if aliens landed? The truth is, we don't actually know which of these Earth would get, because we've never had to find out. But the one thing every expert agrees on, humanity's reaction would say a lot less about the aliens and a lot more about us. If this made you think differently about our place in the universe, hit subscribe, like, and let me see you in the next one. Peace.